Right, let's get straight to it. No messing about today. I want you to picture a scenario. You've just finished a brilliant render clean. The property looks top notch, the client is happy, and you're packing up your kit. But then, a couple of days later, you get a phone call. The neighbour is absolutely fuming because their prized £5,000 Japanese maples in the adjacent garden are, well, they're dead. Shriveled up like crisps because of a bit of windy overspray or some chemical runoff. Now, you think to yourself, well, it's all right, I'm covered. I've got my public liability insurance, I'm sorted. Well, mate, I'm here to tell you that you are almost certainly 100% wrong. You are not sorted, not even close. See, here's the thing. Most contractors in the UK buy a standard public liability policy off the internet, tick the box for exterior cleaning, and think that's it. But if you actually bother to read the small print, and I mean really read it, not just scroll past, you'll find a massive, gaping hole. Standard public liability policies almost always have a total exclusion for what they call pollution. Yes, pollution. In the eyes of an insurance underwriter, if you are spraying sodium hypochlorite or DDAC or BAC50 and that chemical leaves the target surface and damages a neighbour's lawn or gets into their soil or runs down the street gutter, that is classified as a pollution event. And because it's pollution, your standard policy won't pay out a single penny. You are completely on your own, mate, personally liable for every single shilling of that damage, entirely on your own dime. To actually operate safely and legally in this game, you have to get what's called specialist pollution liability insurance, or an endorsement that explicitly covers chemical application and chemical runoff risks. It's an extra cost, yes, but it's the only thing standing between you and absolute financial ruin. But wait, it actually gets worse. Let's say you do have the correct specialist policy. You're thinking, right, now I'm definitely safe. Well, don't hold your breath. Insurers are in the business of collecting premiums, not paying out massive claims. If you do have an accident and you try to claim, the first thing the assessor is going to do is ask to see your paperwork. They'll want to see your up-to-date COSHH assessments, your site-specific risk assessments, your RAMs, and the exact safety data sheets, the SDS, for the chemicals you were using on site that day. And if you don't have them? If you've just been batch mixing some agricultural bleach you bought off the back of a lorry with no paperwork, or you can't produce a proper site risk assessment for that specific property, they will invalidate your cover on the spot. They will literally waive the policy conditions in your face, void your claim, and leave you holding the bag. It's an absolute trap for the untrained or the lazy contractor, and it's happening more and more as the industry grows and insurers get wise to the risks of chemical cleaning. Now, that brings us right to the second massive trap that catches out so many new guys, and even some of the older blokes who should know better. Drainage laws in the UK. I see this all the time on the forums, people saying, oh, just rinse your Softwash solution down the street gutter, it's fine. Just wash it down the road drain and hit it with a hose to dilute it into the bargain. Let me be crystal clear here. If you do that, you are committing a serious environmental offence under UK law. In the eyes of the Environment Agency, that is illegal discharge, and it carries massive criminal fines that can, and will, instantly end your business. You have to understand how UK drainage actually works. There are two completely separate systems under our streets. You've got the surface water drains, the storm drains, and you've got the foul sewers. Those street gutters, those iron grates on the road, they are storm drains. They do not go to a treatment plant. They go straight, directly to the local stream, the local river, the duck pond down the road. If you rinse sodium hypochlorite or DDAC or BAC50 down that street gutter, you are sending raw, active biocides straight into a natural watercourse where it will kill fish, invertebrates, and plant life. And no, trying to dilute it with your garden hose while you rinse does not make it legal. The Environment Agency doesn't care if you ran a hose for 10 minutes. You still discharged a hazardous chemical into surface water. It is a strict liability offence. So how do you handle it legally? Well, before you even unpack a hose, you have to block those storm drains. You use physical containment barriers, drain bungs, sandbags, clay mats, to completely seal off any path to the surface water system. If you have to discharge wash water, it can legally only go to the foul sewer, which is the waste system from toilets and sinks that actually goes to a treatment plant. But even then, you can't just lift a manhole and dump it. Legally, you need what's called a trade effluent consent from the local sewerage provider to discharge chemical wash water. It's about being professional, doing the prep, and not just spraying and praying. This is why proper on-site preparation is your ultimate shield. Before you even touch a chemical, you should be dry scraping. If you're doing a roof, scrape the heavy moss off first with non-metal scrapers. Don't try to dissolve 3 inches of moss with pure chemical. That just creates a massive toxic soup of runoff. Scrape it dry, bag it up, dispose of it as solid waste, and then use a weaker, controlled soft wash mix to treat the remaining spores. Block your downpipes so the chemical doesn't run into the soakaways, and always carry a dedicated chemical spill kit on your van. If a drum splits, you need to be able to contain it instantly, not stand there watching your livelihood run down the road drain. Look, if you want to learn how to do this properly, to get the actual accredited training, the site RAMs templates and compliance packs that keep you on the right side of the law and the insurers, head over to softwashing.uk. Don't risk your business on a guess. Get trained, get covered, and keep it professional. Take care out there, mates, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye for now.